This video is dedicated to Richard Roundtree.
Watch it, Alan. I'm shooting.
Who's the private dick that's the sex machine to all the chicks?
Shaft!
Ya damn right.
I didn't even introduce myself to you gentlemen. My name is John Shaft. Freeze.
We sadly lost a legend of the Grindhouse back in October. We've lost a lot of Grindhouse legends in the past few years, but for one reason or another I haven't really had time to do a tribute to them, but I am definitely going to do a tribute video for this particular person, Richard Roundtree. So, in honor of Richard Roundtree, we're going to be talking about one of the most notorious and important movies in the Blaxploitation genre, Shaft. I've always been a big fan of Blaxploitation movies, and I've been wanting to cover more of them on this channel. Plus, this was one of the movies that introduced me to the Blaxploitation genre, and it became one of my favorite genres in exploitation, so I kind of had to talk about it. Shaft was one of the earliest blaxploitation films, and one of the first film heroes for the black community. One of. So, he was a very important addition to pop culture. The movie Shaft is a crime thriller with some action sprinkled here and there. I think it's a disservice to call this movie an action film. I love action movies, but this one definitely fits more into the crime thriller side of things.
Hey man, I don't know no Ben Buford.
20.
Oh, that Ben Buford.
Shaft is a complicated man. Nobody understands him but his woman. Shaft is a private detective who is both at odds and works with a detective at the local police department. He's one of those typical, hard-edged detectives that doesn't play by the rules, one of those badass people we all love in these kinds of movies. He ends up getting hired by the crime lord Bumpy Jones. His daughter was recently kidnapped, so he goes to Shaft as a last resort to try and find her, because he can't really go to the police. He's a crime lord.
You find my baby. That's all I want.
It turns out Bumpy's gang is in conflict with the Mafia, so Shaft soon finds himself at odds with the Mafia, Bumpy and his gang, and the local police force while trying to find this girl.
All I'm asking you is to let me know what's going on. No names, no places, just what? I'm not asking you to sell out.
1968 through 1971, you could say the early 70s in general, but particularly this period, was not only an important time for black filmmaking, but film in general. I've always thought that 1968 to 1971 was the most important period for independent cinema. A lot of milestones came out in this time period. In 1968, we got Night of the Living Dead, which was the first movie to have a black hero. And then, in 1970, we got Cotton Comes to Harlem, which was one of the first official blaxploitation movies, but sadly, it doesn't get the recognition it deserves because it was hugely overshadowed by two big movies that came out in 1971, Sweet Sweetback's Badass Song and Shaft.
Who's the cat that won't cop out when there's danger all about? Shaft! Right on.
The reason these two movies are so important is because they came out during a time when Hollywood studios weren't doing that well financially. Big budget studio films weren't making as much money as they used to. Then Sweet Sweetback, directed by Melvin Van Peebles, came out. This was an independent movie, and it was a huge hit with the black community. It grew in popularity, and it became the most successful independent movie at the time. And then Shaft came out. That movie was equally as popular, and these two movies grew in popularity.
You ain't so black.
And you ain't so white, baby.
The Hollywood studios saw what was going on here, saw this population that they had been ignoring for so many years, saw how profitable lower-budget independent films could be. This caused a snowball effect, resulting in the Blaxploitation explosion that happened in the early 70s, and a bit of a surge in independent filmmaking. In many ways, the Blaxploitation movement kind of saved cinema, and Sweet Sweetback's badass song and Shaft were a huge part of that. Looking at the movie, this is a flick that owes so much to the charisma of its main character. Richard Roundtree does a great job as John Shaft.
Police gonna be up here asking why you threw that son of a bitch out the window. Now they can find you dead or alive. Now what's your goddamn story?
The movie doesn't have a lot of action. They are there, but there's not too much. Like I said, this is more of a crime thriller, but there's so much entertaining dialogue and fun, interesting characters that we, the audience, can remain entertained. The side characters are good. They have their own personalities and their own moments that help bring this world to life.
Look, I was looking for you like 10 minutes ago.
Harlem Cats?
How in the hell should I know? Everybody looks the same to me.
But of course, Shaft is the one stealing the whole show. He's cool without the movie trying too hard to make him cool, having to tell you, hey, this guy's cool. He's just naturally cool.
Hey, where the hell are you going, Shaft?
To get laid. Where the hell you going?
Just a little detail here, I like how this movie shows Shaft laughing. In so many movies where the main character is supposed to be this hard-edged badass, we never really see them laugh. We may see them give a smirk here or there, but never burst out laughing. I love Dirty Harry and I love Death Wish, but we never see Harry or Paul Kersey laugh. The fact that we see Shaft laugh, and laugh so heartily, makes us want to root for him a little more. Yeah, he's a badass, but he's also a person.
Close it yourself, shitty.
But he's not invincible. There is a scene where he's struggling with someone and he does get overpowered and he has to really fight with the guy to get him off. And there's also a scene where he gets seriously injured and needs help.
Yes! My God, what happened?
He's been shot.
Put him on the couch.
These moments are important. If the main character in any story never gets hurt, never has to struggle, the movie is boring. If there are no stakes, there's nothing to care about. Having your main character get hurt allows us to be more absorbed into the story because we know they can die. Why do you think so many people love John McClane? And there are moments where Shaft doesn't use his muscle to solve a situation. The guy can throw down if he needs to, and we do get plenty of moments where he is being badass, gunning people down and whatnot, but there are also scenes where he uses his brain, sneaks up on somebody, makes a plan to thwart the bad guy. It's fun to watch.
Do me a favor, huh?
Sure.
Go to my place and turn on the...
Hey, no, man. I've already turned on.
No, Billy, turn on the lights.
Oh, light.
About 2 minutes, okay?
Got it.
I'm telling you, that Shaft is a mean mother...
Shut your mouth.
I'm talking about Shaft.
And we can dig it.
The banter is my favorite part of the movie. The action scenes we do get are fun. There are only a few of them, but they are a lot of fun. But I love good dialogue. I love fun dialogue. Banter is always good in a movie that doesn't have a lot of action. He has an interesting relationship with the community. There are people who respect him, but this was made back in 1971, so the movie does touch on discrimination.
Hey, taxi! What the hell is this? Your white mother?
My favorite moments are the scenes with Shaft and Detective Hannon. Now these two are at odds with each other because Shaft is a private detective who doesn't play by the rules, and Hannon is a police officer who has to do things by the book. He tries to work with Shaft, and Shaft tries to work with him, but neither one want to really tip their hand in one way or another. But at the same time, there is respect there. The two do butt heads, and the two do razz each other, but you can tell that they do respect each other.
All right. Take off. I'll see you later. Right on.
I'll admit Shaft isn't my favorite Blaxploitation movie. There are a lot that I like more. Coffee, Foxy Brown, Truck Turner, Black Caesar, Across 110th Street, but I have so much respect for Shaft. My only real issue with Shaft is the ending. Of course, I'm not going to spoil it here, and it's not a bad ending. It does wrap everything up nicely, but it's one of those endings where after the climax happens, the movie just kinda stops. It's one of those endings that makes me laugh because it feels like the director said, you know what, that's enough.
But listen, Snow White. Me and you gonna tangle sooner or later.
Why don't you stop playing with yourself, Willie? You ain't gonna do shit.
Shaft is a good, fun, entertaining movie. And the main character, Shaft, is a great protagonist. This is one of the movies that introduced me to Blaxploitation, and it became one of my favorite genres of the Grindhouse. If you're a Blaxploitation film fan, you've already seen it, but if you have not seen it, and if you're interested in film history, Shaft is an important movie to watch, along with Sweet Sweetback's badass song. And let's throw Cotton Comes to Harlem in there too, because it deserves more recognition. And with that, let's get to the Grindhouse rankings. We've got a body count of about 14. It gets iffy with shootouts. The kills mostly consist of gunshots, but we also get a man thrown out the window. There's some nudity in this flick. Not much, but we do see some breasts and a quick glimpse of some other parts. Shaft is a great main character. He's charismatic, badass, and clever, and I love how he was strong but not invincible. The side characters add a lot to the movie. There's not a lot of action. This is more of a crime thriller, but the characters and dialogue keep everything entertaining. When we do get some action, it's solid action. The ending is kind of abrupt, but it doesn't ruin the movie. Shaft is an important movie in film history, a must-watch. I'm giving this a solid 5 out of 5. Admittedly, it's not my favorite Blaxploitation flick, but its importance to film history gives it the high rating. As always, I want to thank everybody for continuing to watch and support this channel, but I'm not going to ask any questions or anything like that in this video. All I'm going to do is say, rest in peace, Richard Roundtree. You were a very important part of film history. Not just black film history, but independent film history. And Shaft will always be recognized as an icon. Rest in peace, Richard Roundtree. You will be missed.